Alright, welcome back. This is going to be a very short video, very short one actually. In our last video, there are some things we didn't talk about, which I quickly want to point out. On casting, there's something called parse. Yeah, there's a function called parse that we can actually use. Yeah, let's do it this way. We can have something called string inputs. And we can call it maybe, yeah, let's just call it string age equals to, and we can actually tell we can actually tell that to cast, but this is what is going to go on. Actually, we can have int. This is a string, we want to cast it to integer. Yeah, we have integer age to int equals to, we can do int parse age. Can you see? We can actually parse this way, whereby we use the parse function inside the integer class. Integer is a class. Don't worry, we're going to get to OP actually. Integer is a class, then the parse is the function, and we are passing. What parse means that cast it. We are trying to cast it, but now we are not doing to directly, whereby you do toString. We are actually using the parse function. That is this, and we can actually print this, and definitely all will be good. We can just save and clear the terminal, and we run this, and definitely it's going to bring my age is this. That's a way. Then this, now if you want to cast this can throw error. Parse can throw error. There can be a mistake of AS, for example. Now if you try to cast this, now, this is going to fail because there's alphabet inside it. It's not a pure number. Yes, and I think I made mention in my previous video that you cannot cast string to another. You can cast string to another data, but it has some condition. Look at this now. This was actually going to fail if you're trying to cast it to integer or double. Int is integer or double, it's going to fail, and you can see that it actually failed on the terminal. That is it. In case it is not just a data that can be easily casted, converted, then if it is now that case, let's do it. Let's go in another dimension. We can now have something like string, let's do it, name equal to John Doe, and we can say int name to integer equals to this, and definitely it's going to fail. We cannot print name to integer. We already tested here, but there's something we now called try parse. Try parse means try and pass it and see if it is going to work. There's no need for 0. Try and pass this if it is going to work. That's what try parse means. And you can see after the try parse is been declared a value, this is a null, we call it null safety, whereby when the data is not actually going to be possible, be available, then we can do null, or sorry, we can do 0, because we're actually going to int. We can do 0. Then with this, now it's going to help us to cast it safely. Null 0 are actually the same thing also, like they are similar. When you see null, you see that this is This is similar. Then we can have var color equals to null. We can actually have this, but it's really not. You can see null is another data, like it's not there. That thing is not actually there. I'm actually rushing this particular video so that we can cover up whatever remains. Okay, we have something called round and toInt. The other time, if we have, okay, let's have a price. Let's say a double called price is equal to, yeah, 19 point there. This is fine, and we can print. Yeah, we can print, and we can do conversion. We can do, okay, let's just print. We don't need to store it in another variable. We can do conversion, print, and we can do price. This is just getting type, but for me that's not what I want to do. We can do print again, price is price to int, then you can do round, price round, print price round. All right, let's comment this out. We're going to talk about comment also in this video. I just want this video to just touch different parts. All right, you can see we want to print this now. We're printing the price. This is the original. It's firstly going to print the original price. Now we are casting to integer. Let's see what it was. And now we are casting to we are actually rounding up. We are not casting, we are rounding it. Let's see if it's going to round up or round down. It depends. All right, okay, that's clear. Run. All right, you can see we have the price 19.99. then when we turn it, when we do .int, it erase .99. it erases it. Then when we round it, it actually round it up. We did this mathematical stuff in when we were in school then, whereby we do round up, round down. Definitely when it is anything above 5 is going to round up. When it is everything below 5 is going to round out. I think that's just the rule. Let's do 0.45. Let's see what happens. 45. Let's see. You can see it rounds it down. It rounds it down to, because it is less than 5. Let's do 55. Supposed to round it up now. Yeah, it's round it up. Yeah, basically I think that's just what we want to cover in this video. I'm actually checking the table of contents to be sure I've been able to cover everything. All right, one more thing there is case. I don't know, let's quickly talk about case. We in all programming language actually, we have cases. And what does it mean? When we are naming, in naming convention, let me put it that way, in naming convention, when we are naming our variable, there's a way we name. We don't just name. We don't just put it in any way we feel like. You will notice, or if you didn't notice, I'm pointing that please note that we are actually using lower camelCase. We have different cases. Let me clear this. Do I need to clear it? No, we have different cases, but the case we're actually using in that naming convention is lower camelCase. That's what we are using, and I'll just show you all the cases so that you'll be able to see the differences. Let's do cases. We have camel, we have lower camelCase, we have upper camelCase, we have snake case, we have kebab, we have Pascal. Pascal is upper camelCase or Pascal. Okay, we have flat case. We have so many cases actually. We have upper flat. Yeah, screaming. Yeah, we have screaming snake case, and we have screaming cable also. We have screaming kebab case. We have so many cases. These are the cases, but what do you want to what are you supposed to note here? What are you supposed to note here? You notice that this word lower camelCase starts with small letter. Lower is a word, then camel is another word. The next word, first letter is C, then case is a word, and you can see C. Then for the PascalCase, there's a language called Pascal actually. They later changed this particular case to PascalCase. Then, all right, it will start from the first letter of the word, and it's going to be uppercase. You can see that the lower one is only the first letter that is lower. Every other one are upper. That is it. Here now everything has to be upper. Each first letter has to be uppercase. That's PascalCase. Snake case, this is for Python. This is what we use in Python. Snake case. In PHP also we use lower camelCase. I think in Java also lower camelCase, C# lower. Yeah, lower camelCase is very popular and is being used almost all languages like this lower camelCase. But during Pascal time, I think I wrote that in school when I was in my ND National Diploma. Then we learned this Pascal language and we're using this kind of case. And this is kebab, and this is just chaining with hyphen. You can see for snake everything will be small letter, and it's going to have everywhere. What we just want to eradicate is having space bar, because when you are naming, you cannot use space bar. You cannot start with number. You cannot use space bar. You can start with underscore. You have to start with letter. You can mix letter and number together, it's fine, but you cannot start with number and there's nothing like space bar. That is why we have naming convention, whereby we have cases whereby you used to define it. When you are defining your variable and some other things here, maybe your class, we use all these cases in each of the case or each of the instance. That is all about this. That's what we'll be talking about in this video. I think I've been able to cover up this session completely. Yeah, let me check the timetable again. Let me check the table of contents, I mean. All right, fantastic. We are good to go. We've been able to cover everything. You just try to practice, watch the video, learn, try to practice, and we'll see in our next video. But before you go, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. If you have any question, any kind of question, even if it is not in this Dart, you can ask it. I'm going to answer every bit of the question. Like, comment, subscribe, share to your friends and family who want to learn how to build mobile application. And one of the best language and framework is Dart Flutter. Yeah, that's the one of the best you can actually use in 2026. It has been in existence for like about 7 years now, and it's still really still in vogue. It's still very much in need. Yeah, the market is just growing every time. Thank you and God bless.